Ever since I encountered my this first of these Eriocaulon species, I saw one smaller species than this, or maybe it's the same one in our location. Because in good locations, these plants, in favorable locations, they tend to the specimens become bigger, and then I started looking into this Eriocaulon, and then I discovered a few more. I've done already my first encounter with each of them. Then after looking up about it, little bit I learnt about them. One is they are a grass-like type of group, and it seems there are about 400 varieties of this one in the world, and India has one of the largest diversity of this Eriocaulon group, and some 30 are there in China, it seems, and then a few are there in America also. So South Asia and some part of America, and then rest is the main concentration. Also in Africa, I forgot whether they're there or not. Anyway, there are some 400 of them so far described, and they range in there. Lot of them are annual plants, and most of them they live in this moist kind of places, waterlogged and all. So this one yet to get the botanical name and all properly, because India already it's one of the center for this species, it seems. Then on top of that, it is not much studied also, and therefore many more species are there to be discovered. I'm quite sure maybe even 100 may be there if somebody really goes through this group. And the territory also is quite wide, entire Western Ghats. Then I think in Bengal and all also they may be there, and other wet regions of India, including all over India they're there, it seems, various versions. Though for me this is a new group, this season only properly I first encountered it. Then another thing about them, they are quite hard to grow, and one has to be a really master gardener to grow them, and these very tiny ones are extremely difficult. This one, for example, this laterite rock is there. Then there's a little crevice here, this much, say about a square foot maybe, and in that some of the sediment and all has washed down here. And this entire area has been bulldozed actually, and all the vegetation was cleared one round, and some secondary stuff has come because it's becoming real estate and all that. And these are they are specialized to live in these rocky crevices in the Western Ghats in the high rainfall zone, and they have a short lifespan also. Probably some 3-4 months, this species, and then it dries up, and it's pollinated by air. That's one thing I could gather about it. Then also they are very susceptible to competition by grasses and invasive species. So they, unless serious effort is made to identify their locations and protect them and all, they are going to vanish, because they are hard to grow, and they are not that spectacular also. Then apart from that, they are delicate, and then and tiny, so hard to notice also. Then this threat of invasive weeds has become enormous now. People have also, of course, naturally some invasive species come. That's okay, but humans also are contributing enormously to this issue by importing all kind of plants into our country without knowing anything about them and their ecological consequences and all. And then they escape and go, and they're much vigorous and all, so they will occupy the spaces what these plants need for their survival. And it's such a marvelous beauty. There may be many properties and all which nobody has studied it. First of all, identification, then studying about each species, and then trying to see if it contains any interesting chemicals. That's one part. Then documenting, taking photos like what I'm doing now, and spreading the awareness that this is a very precious resource of our wealth of our nation and the world. And this biodiversity loss has now become so alarming, and also public apathy is, people don't know about this subject itself. What is that biodiversity? Why it is worth conserving? So many species are the tiny ones. This one also first time I'm seeing some kind of spiky flower, and it is also a very beautiful thing when one takes the time to look. So aesthetically pleasing, these leaves and all. So this Eriocaulon group, they are related to this rushes and cypress, two other grasses that are also pollinated by air, and they have this same similar kind of look. And this Eriocaulon is also called as pipewort. That's the common name. And so I'm going to look for all of them now, whatever I can find in this area. The smallest one I have covered. I don't know if it's the same or a different one. This is the next size what I could encounter. Then size number 3, 4 and 5 I have located, and I'll be doing videos on each of them. Without, even if I don't get the botanical name and all, I'm going ahead and recording them at least. So this is a beautiful pipewort that is happily living here, little knowing that there will be apartments coming up here and sites and all, and they're doomed. And we are also doomed if we lose all of them. I don't see how our human species can survive just all by ourselves, occupying this beautiful planet. Beautiful but ruined planet. This awareness creation is going to be very important. At least if people know what is there, how many species are there, what's all about them. All of them are worth savings. Just look at that beauty of that. So marvelous. Magnifying quite a bit. This is the other plant I saw today. This one seems to be, I think it can be grown in a pot. I have to try it out. Very pretty thing. With sharp spiky leaves. And the leaves appear to be mottled or something. Then the flowers was also very nice. So that's the new one. So this is about the small species of pipewort, Indian pipewort, one more of them, one of the unknown.